Here we are, back on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Fireside Chats with Abby Lee. I want to tell all of you what Christmas means to me. I didn't have a big family. It was me, Mom, Dad. My dad was one of 6 kids. So he came from that big family and that chaos. My mom was an only child as well. She didn't like the big family and the chaos, no. Growing up, sometimes we would go to my aunts who lived pretty close to us in the same town. My mother never wanted to go. My Christmas was a little different than most. I had that big family celebration with, not my family, but my friends. Sandy Powers, her family. Melissa and Denise and Jeff and Eric, all their kids. And a huge Christmas Eve affair. I mean, it was a big deal. It was catered and it was fancy, but it was fun. And I was there until long after midnight when we would open gifts. Once the crowd thinned out and everybody got comfy, we would open gifts. And that was a special time for me. Those people were my family with the beautifully wrapped presents and the gorgeous Christmas tree with pink ballet slippers on it. My mom, oh yeah, we had a tree. But like I said, she was busy working. One thing that comes to mind when there's Christmas at a dance studio, you have all those people and they bring you gifts. Some children are very giving and some parents teach their children to give because it's better to give than to receive. I'm not sure whose quote that is, but thank you for that. My mother would come home with boxes, big giant cardboard boxes filled with presents. Avon perfumes and homemade candy, cookies, a really good nut roll. All those gifts were special, and my mother would take that tablet and she'd write down what each child gave her, even if it was a candy cane with a bow on it. And she would write out a thank you note for that child. That's what I remember about the dance studio and Christmas. As a child, I pretty much got whatever I wanted. My mother talks about waiting in line all night for some Betsy Wetsy doll or Baby Alive that was like a real baby, and what she went through to get those things. One gift in particular was a dollhouse. I was big into the whole dollhouse thing, the miniatures with the really good furniture. But of course, the designer in me, I wanted an A-frame ski chalet with glass floors so that you could see down into the other rooms from upstairs. And my dad had somebody that he knew at work that was working on dollhouses build it. So the whole lid, like the roof that was the A-frame, lifted off. And then you had the dollhouse and it had a spiral staircase. It was really cool. I also had a Batmobile when I was really little, a toddler. I think everybody else had the Barbie car and I had the Batmobile. Now, many of my mom's friends, old friends, bought me gifts. They were like my Aunt Irene and my Aunt Teresa. They weren't really blood relatives. They were so, so kind to me. Sometimes I would get 3 of the same gift because my mom put it out there that that's what I really, really wanted. And so I would get the baby doll from this person and the baby doll from this person and the baby doll from Santa. What did I do? We gave them away. And as I grew older, you know how when you're a teenager, you get all your presents and you leave them under the tree so when your friends come over, you can show them what you got, and then you go to their house and see what they got. Well, sometimes when my friends came over, oh my God, I wanted that so bad. I wanted that and I didn't get it. Here, you can have it. I don't really need it. So it's stereotypical that only children are spoiled. I didn't need for anything. I didn't want for anything, and I didn't have to fight anybody or compete with a brother and a sister. My dad always used to say that he had to compete against 5 other kids for the last pork chop at dinner. I didn't have to do that. When I received in abundance, I gave away. I remember getting a drum set and a guitar and then a sewing machine and just craziness in my 10-speed bike. Yeah. I rode that bike every day when I was a teenager. All right, let's get on with it now. So Christmas, right? As I got older, I continued to go to Sandy's. My mom and dad were already in Florida. They would leave as soon as the dance studio closed for the holiday, whatever day that was. We went as a family to my friend Sandy Powers, Christmas Eve. She had the big blowout. It was gorgeous. The food was amazing. It was always catered. And then Sandy and her daughters made their specialties. And I saw people that I hadn't seen all year. They were my extended family. They were friends. And sometimes, you know, you can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends. And I picked the best friends in the world. Thank you guys for always including me in all of your events. So Christmas Eve, I would be there until 1, 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. I wanted to see Santa Claus come. And we would open all these gifts, and often we would go to midnight mass. And then I'd go home and get on a plane. I'd go home, pack up my last little, incidentals, and head to the airport. Yes. Some people couldn't believe that I would be flying on Christmas Day. I did, of course. People travel all over the world. I mean, there's many different religions. Some people don't even celebrate Christmas. So there's lots of people flying. Anyway, I flew to Florida. My mom and dad would pick me up at the airport, and we would head either right to mass or to dinner, depending on my flight, and then evening mass there. And then I stayed for a couple days because I had to get back to the studio. I had to rehearse. My mom and dad would stay for a while, and we had our nice little Christmas. Oh gosh, I miss them. Even though it wasn't a big explosion and it wasn't over the top with the dinner or the tree or the decor or the gift wrapping, they were my mom and dad. And it was nice to have that downtime. And it was nice to be hot. And it was nice to be in the heat and the sun and enjoy. I do think sometimes we get caught up in the commercial aspect of Christmas and what it all means. Don't forget, it's Christ's birthday. And because I was raised to give and give and give, and sometimes I gave to kids a little too much. You would think I learned from my mistakes, but I didn't, and that's okay. I'm gonna keep on giving. So we have a giveaway here at the ALDC. We are giving away merchandise. That's right. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have socks, we have baseball hats. You name it, we have it. All the gifts from the Abby Lee apparel line will be raffled off. That's right. So if you want to throw your name in the mix and sign up for the raffle, please comment below. That's all it is. Easy peasy. And speaking of that, I think there's another $100 million Powerball tonight. I might have to leave and run and buy a ticket for that raffle for me. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me for this little fireside chat on what Christmas means to me. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel. Turn on your post notifications because you don't want to miss the rest of that Christmas routine. Santa Claus is coming to town. Welcome to Reindeer Games. I am going to rename the original cast members. These reindeers are considered the OGs, not original gangster, old goats.